All right, Dennis and Stephanie K here. We are taking questions from viewers today.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I love these.
Yeah, me too. Write some more in.
Absolutely. So if any of you have questions about moving abroad, moving to Belize, investing in Belize, and want to get our humble opinion based on our experience, we'd be happy to create a video and send it out there and have you guys see what we think, right?
And you're wondering, why are these two yahoos qualified to, even answer that question? Well, we moved from the United States in 2003. So we've been gone 17 years. And we've had the ups, the downs, the middles, and first, it's been a really good ride, and we've enjoyed every second of it. So I think we have a few things to say about it.
Yeah, there we go. So the first question on today's list is, what is the best advice that you could give someone who is looking to move abroad? And by move abroad, it means we have clients from Europe, Canada, United States, any country in the world. But what advice would we have for someone looking to move their home country or the country they grew up in and go off and live in some other country, maybe even somewhere halfway around the world? So we'll start with you. What do you think?
My number one thing to say would be, don't be afraid. You're wasting a lot of time on fear. Of course, go in it with due diligence and, dot all your I's and cross all your T's, but it's not going to be as scary as you think it's going to be. And truthfully, the things that you're worried about, making friends, fitting in, finding their exact right piece of property, doing your life stream, whether it's like building a shop or a restaurant or something, those things there'll be something else little in there that you couldn't have even foretold. So why worry about things that aren't even going to happen? Then you worry about it beforehand. You worry about it maybe if it does happen. It's just, borrowing trouble. So I would say, don't worry as much. You're going to have a good team of people behind you. If you have Dennis in your corner, he's going to lead you through a lot of these, curves in the road. And just be excited. You're doing something that not a lot of people do, but a lot of people want to do. So have a, thrill in the process. It's fun. It's a small club, but it's a club to be, proud of being in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So my advice is a lot like your stuff. I think that you shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself to figure it all out right from the start. I thought about, if you graduate high school these days, right, you're automatically almost forced to try to go to a university or a college or something. And they always want you to pick what you're going to do. How do you know when you're 19, 20, 21, what you want to do financially for the rest of your life? A lot of young people just don't know. And a lot of people who are now in their 30s, 40s, and 50s looking to move to Belize, again, they feel all that pressure like, oh, well, I picked the right spot, well, I picked the right property, well, even pick the right country. I get emails all the time from people saying, look, I'm looking at 3 different countries or 4 different countries, Costa Rica, Panama, the DR, Belize, and which one is right? And can you imagine all that stress? Because what if you make the wrong decision? Well, from our experience, you rarely make a wrong decision. Yes, you might move somewhere, spend a year or 2 there and realize, you know what, maybe this isn't working out for us so good. Maybe we should try one city over or one area of the country over. But any decision you make, it doesn't have to be the end all be all. You can change it, So even when it comes to Belize, right? I mean, think about where we lived in Belize.
When you're making a decision, a lot of times when we made decisions at the beginning, we said just in our own minds, because we were a little afraid. I was 26, and we were thinking about it, and there were a lot of things to think about, and so we were just wondering, like, what are we going to do? So we put in our mind a timeline, 1 year. We were like, we could do anything for 1 year. We can try it out. But in our minds, we hoped it would go beyond a year. But then if that year ended and we decided to go home, it wasn't a failure. It's not a failure. You learn something along the way. The people we met that first year are definitely not a failure. This is a part of our families today. It's very important in the learning process. Sure, we don't live in Hattieville, Belize right now, but the long time that we did, the couple and a half years that we lived there were really important to us as people, logically, mentally, psychologically, all sorts of different ways. It made us grow up and it made us better people. So like, just because it might not make sense on paper, then we realized, okay, hey, we're in Belize for a while. This going back and forth is not, paying the bills as much as we'd like. We should probably go somewhere else.
Back and forth to the States.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I'd spend a couple months in the States, make enough money to live back in Hattieville, back and forth. We needed to be all in one place for our situation. And so we were just like, well, there's not a lot of money to be made in Hattieville because there's not a lot of tourists. Where are the tourists? So we had to decide between the island and the
San Ignacio
mountains.
Yeah.
And it was a big decision. And there are amazing both. I mean, I don't think we could have made a wrong decision, because if we would have made a decision in San Ignacio, that's beautiful and amazing too. We still have friends there. So, but then if we went to San Ignacio and it was, you know, not great for us, we could move to the islands. It's not a be all end all. You don't have to make the decision for the rest of your life. You can just make the first baby steps, and then you can pull out and go to somewhere else. You can try something else. Whoever, you know, you don't know who you're going to meet, who might say, hey, you want to start a restaurant together? You know, I have this, that, and the other experience. Or, you know, do you want to go and be part of the pet sanctuary? And, you know, you find your love and your excitement in the things that you do for people, because we always think that giving is a big part of moving.
Yeah, absolutely. And so take small steps. My advice is to take small steps that doesn't scare you, right? Just like, you know, for example, book the ticket down to Belize. Now, when you can safely travel, right now, of course, there's a lot going on with COVID-19 and different things going on in the world scene. But when you and your family can safely travel, book the flights, get down to Belize, check it out. That's a first step. Then check out what area you want to live in. That's a second step. Maybe if you're an investor like me, you look at properties based on the return or the ROI, how you're going to use them short-term, long-term. But even when it comes to property, look, I tell people, if you're coming down to Belize and you have, let's say, 300, 400, 500,000 to spend, you know, why go all in on a big expensive condo? Why not go in on a few smaller properties that can afford you the freedom to live there when you want to live there? It could be part-time, could be full-time, but also invest other monies. So like Steph said, when an opportunity comes up to do something else, you get a nice financial return coming in, and then that opens up the world to you, right? So it's not just about the properties that you're buying and investing in Belize, but you're doing so with the future in mind, your future chapters, your future excitement in mind. So that's what I really like to tell people is like, look, don't try to figure it all out, but get started, do something, right, toward your future life.
And if that's just maybe making monthly payments on your piece of property in Belize, and you won't be able to do it for 10 years, actually, you know, go down there. We have a lot of clients who have not even been to Belize, but they believe in the dream and they're making it happen. That way, that money that it's a low monthly payment, they're not missing out on it, but then they will gather. It will be a big chunk by the time in 10 years they go there and they're like, wow, now I'm ready to build. Now I'm ready to have, you know, my children, my grandchildren here. And it's exciting to do. So, I mean, if you decide, you know, even to build, it's not a big deal to rent for a few months. You can go ahead. I mean, they have amazing rentals that are gorgeous with pools, and, you know, you feel like you're living in a resort. It's just with the blue water and the palm trees. It's really a lot of fun. So since we can't buy tickets right now, a lot of times, start a journal, write down your lists, write down your goals, make those goals come true. And then it will feel so good when you can check it off.
Absolutely. So that's our advice for this question. So thank you for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button below, turn on the bell icon, and you'll be notified when we post a new video. And stay tuned, because we have 3 or 4 more questions we're going to be answering today and posting these videos in the upcoming days and weeks. So take care and hope to see you soon.
Bye.